Subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss an update from eTimes TV.
So today we have with us Karan Kundra's sister, Meenu Kundra, and Karan Kundra's brother-in-law, Gaurav Malhotra, joining us from the US and talking about the controversy which has become the talk of the town between Karan Kundra and Tejasswi Prakash in Bigg Boss house. Welcome to eTimes TV, Meenu and Gaurav, and thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Such a pleasure. Thanks for having us here.
Thanks for having
Meenu,
us.
I'll start with you straight away because you have, triggered off with that tweet and you have raised your concerns that Tejasswi Prakash is not treating your brother well. Now,
Yep.
can you just elaborate a little on this, that what irked you so much? Because I believe you have been watching the program from the US frequently at least, and something has really, perturbed you.
Yeah, it's, obviously seeing somebody who Karan is trying to have a very good relationship with, and seeing that, that somebody is sort of hurting him in ways that, we've never seen Karan being treated like that. And we're a very close family. I'm his sister. I'm like his mother. I'm his best friend. He's grown up with me, usko mummy se daan pitti thi, so I used to protect him. So maybe I've not seen people abuse him the way that he's getting abused on the show. So it's something triggers me. I don't think it's specific to Tejaswini. It could be anybody who's misbehaving with your sibling that you would have that kind of reaction. So I'm not saying I dislike Tejaswini. It's just that behavior, something about it upsets me. I'm his sister. He's my blood. If you have siblings, I'm sure you would have a similar reaction. It could happen to your sister. It could happen to your brother. It could happen to even, your friends. You would have a similar reaction. So that's where.
But what has irked you actually? I mean, what were those instances? What was the flashpoint? And how did it all build up?
There were quite a few, like the way she would say something negative, या उसको उसके friends के साथ नहीं बैठने देती है, and I've seen that with Karan too. I'm sure there's like possessiveness, insecurity. Obviously, you're stuck inside a house. You feel a little insecure. You want to, sort of get along with everyone, but just a few things about like, uske saath mat baitho, usse mat baat karo, but yet she would do the same thing. There were quite a few things that bothered me. That one comes to my mind right now. Calling him.
I think, Meenu, that it's a mix of relations, because they're not just people who love each other, but they're also expected to be competitors. So, each one has to do certain things, and then one person comes and says that, hey, Karan, you are the best in this. So maybe that competitive feeling comes and triggers some kind of behavior in one person or another. So one has to respect that. Plus, the show is made to highlight the worst of each person so that everybody gets shocked. And we do not see that 99% of the time these guys must be wonderful to each other, and the show just focuses and hones in on just the negative stuff so that everybody starts to get irritated and has a higher level of interest in the show. So I think the creatives are doing a wonderful job in poking each one of us, the family of each and every contestant, to say, abhi tumhara kya opinion hai iske bare mein?
Okay, so I believe, Gaurav, you have also been poked. Now, what has bothered you? Any particular instance where you felt that Tejasswi was, going overboard?
I think what bothers me, or sometimes bothers me, is the rhetoric that comes from the fandoms. Because inside, what is happening is that these guys are living a normal life, expected to live normally. And when I see Karan, I see that he is all himself. जैसा वो घर पे होता है, मैं कहता हूँ वहीं वैसा ही तू वहां पे है, तेरे को बस उधर रहने के पैसे मिल रहे हैं भाई. That is a lovely scenario for you. Whereas there are many others who are doing things that they sometimes feel more camera conscious. But one has to give Karan the benefit that he has been in this for a longer time. He has run reality shows.
But Gaurav, I would again repeat my question. What were those instances where you thought Tejasswi went overboard?
It is not my place to judge a relationship just based on what the channel wants to show me. So it does not bother me. I am not a sister or a brother in reality for Karan, although I have very affectionate feelings for him. But I can actually remove myself as somebody who's much older, and having gone through seeing how a third party can come and shake up a relationship with their teeth bitten into both the people who are in a good relationship otherwise. So that I think that egos on both sides rise up and create scenarios where one is fighting the other and says something or does something or hits somebody, or people can interpret all these actions in so many different ways. And I see that happening with these thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of fans who not only watch it, but a percentage of them will also express their feelings. And the extreme feelings come on when you start to actually type about the show. You definitely are in the extreme of the show in terms of sentiment. So these fans will point out that, hey, she's waking him up with her feet. But in her defense, I might say, when this is how she has been raised, that, hey, you could just climb onto somebody no matter how you related to him. Maybe she treats him just like a friend of the same age, whereas we guys see him as somebody who is older, and in case they're going to be suitors for each other, then there is a certain amount of respect that in our family, for instance, my wife might refer to me as aap or tum, and I refer her back in the same way. So, these terms, but each one, when I was in Mumbai doing an internship, I realized that even to their mother, they will address as tu. So for us, it is a little different culturally, but when one sees that as long as they respect me, I'm good with it. You can call me anything. And we have to just get to know Tejasswi as a person.
Okay. You are being the buffer, I will say here. But Meenu, okay, thanks for saying that. Yeah. And Meenu, but I want you to at least tell me that as a sister, where were those points which really hurt you and which still bother you? And do you think that this love story is here to stay? Will it last?
I'm nobody to say whether the love story will last or stay, as long as there's, mutual respect for each other. There's, sincerity, there's admiration, which we see. But, there's also a huge age difference, which, we're not, like Gigi was saying, she's very young, could be immature. We see Karan as a very mature, wise man. To see him getting kicked up in the morning or getting climbed on his back, he spent 13 years in the industry. He's a well-known person, and this is national TV. We don't want our brother to be treated like that. And
no, but that might simply be an expression of affection. One has to. I think I would step back a little bit and see what's.
We are like the most family.
But the underlying current of a sentiment is so important. It is, if there is love, you can throw the chapati at me from the end of the kitchen, and I would love to catch it and play with you. But if there is hatred in the relationship and you throw the chapati at me, I know that this is a sign of disrespect. So I think the underlying current matters so much more as we see this relationship. And it is, when they come out, we have to talk to these guys and say, "Acha yaar, kya karna hai tumne? Is this something that you want to proceed with?" And even that, we are nobody to ask them, etc. these are two adults. They can decide for themselves whatever they want to do in their lives, and they're both successful in their careers. Karan is at a stage where we are interested in having a nice girl in his life forever. And if this is the girl, well, lucky you, man. You went in there, whether you get the trophy or not, you get a lovely person, a partner for your life. You have won more than what you went in for. But if this is not, and if this is a mutual arrangement or a channel-based or channel-driven rhetoric or scenario, then of course we have to accept the wishes of whatever these two grown-ups want. So wherever we are needed, I would expect them to say, okay, guys, I want you to be involved in this or not in that. And that is the right way to treat a couple in any scenario.
Okay, so Gaurav would want this relationship to continue, provided they both want to continue it. But Meenu, coming back to you, the instances with Shamita Shetty, the instance with Rashmi Desai, what did you think of those instances? Is it over-possessiveness or is it something else?
It's definitely over possessiveness. I'm sure, you don't want your love interest to be paying more attention to somebody else when you're in the room. And it comes from some sort of insecurity too. I think as a girl, even I would have it if my love interest is giving more attention to somebody else. But if I'm stuck in a house for the last 3 months, and these are the only people I know, and I'm also watching that, so Karan sabse bana ke rakhta hai. Karan he loves people, he loves relationships, wo in cheezon ko itne importance deta hai. So he's somebody you cannot restrict him from building those relationships. So as his love interest, she should have seen ke Karan ki wohi personality hai. Karan, is a friend to everyone. So I should also.
One moment. If I may excuse myself, I have to go to the airport. My parents and my brother have arrived. So I'm going to head out. And I hope to have a wonderful time with you guys again and meet again. But Meenu, you carry on if you have to. And,
well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. And would love to see you again.
Thanks a lot, Vicky.
So like I was saying, as a love interest, if that's the first thing I would notice, is that my love interest is very keen on building relationships, maintaining relationships, and I should be by his side or doing something similar where, I'm siding with him. So हमने देखा कि, she, instead of letting him be free, she was trying to curb him and जैसे कहते हैं ना, उसको पकड़ के रखो and don't let him be free and be independent. And you could see that Karan was trying to break free from it. Like he was getting agitated. Like, why can't I talk to my friends? Why can't I be? मैं किसी की battery change कर रहा हूँ इसमें, like इसमें कोई problem मेरे को तो दिख नहीं रही है. It's not like, I went and changed only her battery. I changed everybody else's battery, and she was sleeping. It's not like I woke her up and tried to get her attention. So those things kind of irk you. And then again, it comes back to the point where it's like, okay, maybe she's too young to understand these things. Child wala behavior hai usme. So I felt like, and जब अपना भाई होता है या अपनी sister होती है, you obviously are more emotional.
Aren't you saying, Meenu, that Karan is quite a readable guy, that you can read him? And by now, Tejasswi should have been able to understand him, and she has not been able to understand him. This is what I make out from your conversation.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. Like, get to know the guy. Love the guy for what he is. Don't change him, because the minute you try and change him, he's gonna backfire and his family's gonna backfire. And I think that's where the problem is. We know Karan doesn't like to be held back. And when we're watching this, I can see the agitation in his face because we're siblings. So I guess wahan pe irritation ho rahi thi, and I was like, why can't this can work out as long as Teja just spends a little bit of time understanding what kind of personality Karan has. And Karan has, fully understood Teja. And how is it? And I guess it comes from age and wisdom. And that's probably what bothers me. It's like, get to know the guy. Stop harassing him.
But what is largely triggered off this whole thing, actually a little before your tweet, was that sentence from Karan which came along, that तूने अपनी शक्ल देखी है, तेरी असलियत दिख गई है. So that has also become a subject of debate on the social media, and divided the social media more into two groups. I'm not saying that they were not divided earlier, but it's divided them further.
Yeah, and I have to say this, like, even calling somebody gadha, these terms are very loosely said, but they don't come with any like meat to it. And Sunny does tend to speak like that. Sorry, I keep calling him Sunny. That's his ghar ka naam, Karan. So I know when you're on national TV, you got to watch what you're saying, but it doesn't come from a bad place. Other people are more polite, I understand, but I also understand when you're on national TV, you got to watch what you're saying, because these are loosely said words, but they don't have any meanness to it. It comes from a healthy place, because hum aisi baat karte hain kabhi kabhi.
Would you like to meet Tejasswi when they both come out from the house?
Absolutely. Like, I'm not somebody who's going to say, nahi Karan, you can't do this. I'm not, we're not that kind of people. Speaking of Tejaswini, her family, her brother, we would love to meet them. We would love to extend our friendship, our love and support to them. We love everybody else on the team. I personally have reached out to Umar. We love Umar and Karan's relationship. I think Shamita is playing an awesome game. I love her role. Rashmi is a solid woman. It's not like we are against anybody. This is a friendly game. This is for entertainment. But obviously, at the end of the day, we're going to root for our own, brother or sister. And, we reach out to everyone with love and support. For nobody to say, Karan, you can't have this relationship. Or as long as Karan wants it, he'll go after whatever he wants. But, as a sibling, I just don't want any disrespect shown towards him.
Okay, so Karan getting cozy with Tejasswi in the show, and then Rakhi coming to them and saying, please avoid being cozy. This guy might not marry you. She was telling Tejasswi. Did you see this attraction coming, and what's your take on Rakhi's statement? First, let me ask you this question in two separate parts. Did you see this attraction coming?
I definitely saw something from Karan's side. Yes, I did see that he was more attached to Tejaswini. He was kinder towards her. But again, that's Karan's personality. He's so loving. He's friendly. So maybe... I don't think I misread anything, but yeah, I did see some attraction. I saw some attraction from Tejaswini's side too. And speaking of what Rakhi has said, I mean, we all know this is obviously we're not saying it's fake love story, but they're stuck inside a house, not really sure where their relationship stands. We only watch the end of the day episode. We don't watch the live feed, so we really don't know how much invested they both are. We'll only get to know once they're out of the house. And if Karan says, yeah, this is the girl, we are there to back him up. What Rakhi said, I think anybody would say that, what's happening today might not last tomorrow. I think that's where she was coming from. Also, I think she was, as a wiser person, she was just trying to say maybe stay off showing so much emotion on national TV. I really don't know what Rakhi's take on it was. I love Rakhi. I think she's so entertaining and funny. So I felt it came from a good place where it was don't show so much love and, stuff on national TV. I think that's where Rakhi came from. She was basically protecting both of them.
To conclude, who do you think will claim the trophy? I know you want Karan to claim the trophy, but if not Karan, then who would you like?
I would have wanted Umar to win, but sadly he's no longer on the show. So if it wasn't Karan, we were all rooting for Umar. Shamita is also a very strong player. So is Rashmi, but and obviously Tejasswini, right? But my first two were either Karan or Umar. I didn't even think about a third person.
Okay, so now whom you want as the winner?
I think Tejaswini's played a good game so far, and so has Shamita. Also, I will give more side to people who've been on the show from the very first day. Rashmi's a very strong player too, but I feel I need to be more, biased towards those who have been on the show from the very beginning. So for me, it would be either Shamita or Tejaswini.
Oh, hi Gaurav, are you joining us back from the car?
Yeah, I'm in the car.
Lovely. You couldn't keep out of this conversation.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep out of it. No, not at all.
Okay. So we were just winding up, Gaurav, and to know your choices that अगर Karan नहीं जीता, Karan obviously आपका first choice होगा, तो किसे जीतना चाहिए? आपका choice क्या है?
Show में अभी तो कुछ time बाकी है. I think they've extended the show a little bit, have they not?
हाँ, वो तो मेरे ख्याल से जिंदगी भर होता रहेगा. 2-3 साल से ऐसे ही हो रहा है. So give me two choices quickly.
Two choices quickly. I think Tejasswi and Shamita. I think the two girls are strong. They're good people, and they have what I would call tameez, and they're just lovely people. I think we can see that there is a lot of good in both of them.
Oh, I forgot. Nishant is a strong player too.
आपने निशांत का नाम लिया है, so this question becomes unavoidable. You think Nishant had a crush on Tejasswi since you have been following the show? Because ये भी कहा जा रहा था.
No, I don't think at all. Nishant is
your brother was feeling it in the show that.
Acha, no, I know it came up and I was like, no, I don't see. Nishant is such a fun-loving, bubbly, carefree person. I didn't see it. I don't know if I was following the show that closely. Because as a family member, you're only fixated on your brother and seeing everything that he's doing. So maybe we missed that thing. But nowhere did I personally didn't think there was any connection. But if there was, and Karan is pretty, he gets the hints. So if he felt there was something, then there probably was something.
Well, we are losing Gaurav a little bit in and out from the frame. I think his car is racing away to the airport. And I must thank you and him both to have taken this time off and speak to me at eTimes TV. And Gaurav, there you are. Thank you very much for joining me. And I must remind, or rather, I must tell the viewers here that अभी 7 बज रहे हैं सुबह के बॉम्बे में, और you have been talking to us at 7 a.m. in the morning. Of course, it's evening there out in the US, but we have loved talking to you, and we wish to talk to you later in future again.
Thank you so much.
Who knows? It could be a 4-in-1 frame then. You, both, and Karan and Tejasswi together.
Absolutely. That would be a delight.